Life is a fight. From the moment you take your first breath, you're in a battle. But here's the thing, that's not bad news. That's the best news you could ever get. Because in that fight, in that struggle, you find out who you really are. You're stronger than you think. You're braver than you believe. You're more capable than you've ever dreamed. But you'll never know it until you're in the ring, until you're facing down your fears, your doubts, your setbacks. I'm here to tell you one thing today. Never stop fighting. Now, when life knocks you down, get back up. When your dreams seem impossible, keep pushing. When everyone tells you to quit, fight harder. Because the moment you stop fighting is the moment you start dying. Think about a seed. It's small, it's fragile, it's buried in the dark. But does it give up? No. It fights. It pushes against the earth. It reaches for the light. And one day it breaks through. It becomes a mighty tree that stands tall against the storms. You are that seed. Your potential is buried deep inside you. But it's there waiting to burst forth. All it needs is for you to keep fighting. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but you don't know my situation. You don't know how hard it is. And you're right, I don't. But I know this, your situation doesn't define you. I've met people who had every reason to give up, people who lost everything, people who were told they'd never amount to anything, but they refused to stop fighting. And you know what? They didn't just survive. They thrived. There was a woman I met. She grew up in poverty, faced abuse, dropped out of school. Everyone said her life was over before it began. But she decided to fight. She went back to school. She worked 3 jobs. She studied late into the night. Today, she's a successful business owner, employing people from her old neighborhood, giving them a chance like she gave herself. That's the power of never stopping your fight. Well, think about a man I know. He was diagnosed with debilitating disease. Doctor said he'd be in a wheelchair within a year. But he looked at that diagnosis and said, watch me fight. He changed his diet. He exercised even when it hurt. He researched new treatments. 5 years later, he ran a marathon. Not because his condition disappeared, but because his fight grew stronger than his fear. These aren't just stories. These are testaments to the human spirit, your spirit, because you have that same fire inside you. Now let's be clear. Fighting doesn't mean you'll win every battle. You'll face setbacks. You'll have days when you feel like you can't go on. That's not failure. That's life. The failure only comes when you decide to stay down. Every great success story is really a story of persistence, of refusing to stop fighting. Think about any person you admire, any achievement that inspires you. I guarantee you, behind that success is a story of relentless fight, of pushing through pain, doubt, and failure. Take Thomas Edison. He didn't just invent the light bulb. He failed at it over 1,000 times. But each failure was just another round in the fight. He famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset of a fighter. Or consider Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison. But did he stop fighting for justice? No. He used that time to plan, to grow stronger in his resolve. And when he was finally released, he changed the nation. These aren't superhumans. They're people just like you and me. The only difference, they refuse to stop fighting. Now, I want you to think about your own life. What are you fighting for? What dream have you put on hold because it seemed too hard? What goal have you given up on because you failed once or twice? It's time to get back in the ring. It's time to reignite that fight. Maybe you're fighting to start a business, to provide for your family, to overcome an addiction, to heal a relationship, whatever it is worth fighting for, and you're worth fighting for. But here's the key. You've got to fight smart. Blindly throwing punches won't get you anywhere. You need strategy. You need discipline. You need to train yourself for the long haul. First, get clear on what you're fighting for. Write it down. Make it so vivid in your mind that you can taste it, feel it, see it. That vision will be your fuel when things get tough. Next, break down that big fight into smaller bouts. You can't climb a mountain in one leap, but you can take it one step at a time. Set small, achievable goals. Celebrate each victory, no matter how small. Then, surround yourself with other fighters. Find people who believe in you, who cheer you on, who pick you up when you fall. No great fight was ever won alone. And most importantly, train your mind. Your thoughts are your most powerful weapon. Fill your mind with positivity, with affirmations of your strength and capability. Read books that inspire you. Listen to speeches that motivate you. Feed your mind a diet of success and perseverance. Now, let me tell you something crucial. The fight isn't always loud. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes the greatest fights happen in silence. In the early morning when you choose to get up and work on your dream instead of sleeping in the quiet moment when you choose forgiveness over bitterness. In the split second when you choose courage over comfort. These silent battles, they're the ones that define you. They're the ones that shape your character, that build your strength. Don't underestimate them. And here's another truth. The fight never ends. But that's not a curse, it's a blessing. Because with each round, you get stronger, you get smarter, you get closer to your dreams. Think about a diamond. It doesn't start out beautiful and valuable. It starts as a lump of coal buried deep in the earth. But under immense pressure over time, it transforms. It becomes one of the hardest, most precious substances on earth. You are that diamond in the making. The pressure you feel, that's life shaping you into something magnificent. But you've got to stay in the fight. You've got to keep pushing back against that pressure. Now I want you to do something. Right now, wherever you are, clench your fist. Feel the strength in your hand. That strength is just a fraction of what's inside you. You have reservoirs of power that you haven't even tapped into yet. And every time you feel like giving up, I want you to clench your fist again. Remember this moment. Remember that you are a fighter. Remember that greatness is within your grasp if you just keep pushing. You see, life will test you. It'll throw challenges at you that seem impossible. It'll push you to your limits and beyond. But that's not because life is cruel. It's because life knows what you're capable of, even when you don't. Every obstacle is an opportunity. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every moment of pain is a chance to gain strength. Think about a rocket launching into space. The most dangerous, most challenging part of its journey is pushing through the Earth's atmosphere. It faces incredible resistance. But once it breaks through, it soars. It explores new worlds. It achieves what seemed. You are that rocket. The resistance you feel, that's just the atmosphere of doubt, fear, and past failures. Push through it. Break free. Because on the other side of that is everything you've ever dreamed of. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what if I fail? What if I give it everything I've got and still come up short? Let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of failures. Every breakthrough comes after a series of breakdowns. The only real failure is in stopping. Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, once said, I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. He didn't succeed despite his failures. He succeeded because of them. Because each failure taught him something. Or think about Steve Jobs. He was fired from the company he founded. Can you imagine how that felt? But did he give up? No. He fought back. He started new companies. He innovated. He grew. And eventually he returned to Apple and led it to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. These stories aren't exceptions. They're the rule. Behind every success is a story of relentless fight. So embrace your failures. Learn from them. Let them fuel you. Let them remind you that you're still in the ring, still fighting, still moving forward. And remember, the fight isn't always about winning. Sometimes it's about enduring. It's about standing your ground when everything is telling you to run. It's about holding on to hope when all seems lost. Think about a boxer in the ring. Even when they're taking hits, even when they're up against the ropes, they're still fighting. They're still looking for an opening, still planning their next move. No matter how hard life hits you, you're still in the fight as long as you're standing. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is the enemy of fight. It'll tell you you're not good enough, not strong enough, not ready enough. It'll try to keep you in your comfort zone, away from the ring, away from the fight that could change your life. But here's the truth about fear. It's a liar. It's a bully that backs down when you stand up to it. And the only way to beat fear is to face it. To step into the ring even when your knees are shaking. To throw that punch even when your arm feels weak. Every time you face your fear, you weaken his hold on you. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you expand your realm of possibility. So what are you afraid of? What fear is holding you back from the fight of your life? Name it. Face it. Fight. Because on the other side of that fear is everything you've ever wanted. And let me tell you something else. The fight isn't just for you. Your fight, your perseverance, your refusal to give up, it inspires others. It shows them what's possible. It gives them the courage to start their own fight. Think about it. Every great movement, every positive change in this world started with one person who refused to stop fighting. One person who believed that things could be better and was willing to work for it. You have that power. Your fight can change lives. Your perseverance can inspire generations. Your refusal to give up can start a revolution. So fight for your dreams, yeah, but also fight for something bigger than yourself. Fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Fight for a better world. Fight to leave a legacy that will outlive you. Because here's the beautiful truth. When you fight for others, you find strength you never knew you had. When your fight is about more than just you, you become unstoppable. Now, I want you to think about the future. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to have achieved? What kind of person do you want to be? That future is waiting for you, but it's not going to come to you. You've got to fight for it. You've got to work for it. You've got to push through every obstacle, overcome every setback, face every fear to get there. And the beautiful thing is you can. You have everything you need inside you right now. You have the strength, the courage, the resilience. All you need to do is unleash it. So from this moment on, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Promise that you will never stop fighting. Promise that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall, you'll always get back up. Promise that you'll keep pushing, keep growing, keep believing, because the world needs your fight. The world needs your dreams, your ideas, your passion. The world needs you to be the best version of yourself. And you know what? You need this fight too. Because it's in the fight that you will discover who you truly are. It's in the fight that you'll uncover strengths you never knew you had. It's in the fight that you'll become the person you were always meant to be. So don't shy away from the challenges. Don't run from the obstacles. Embrace them. Welcome. Because each one is an opportunity to prove to yourself just how strong you really are. Remember, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. It's about fighting through the storm, coming out stronger on the other side. You are a fighter. You always have been. From the moment you were born, you've been overcoming odds, pushing boundaries, defying expectations. Don't stop now. Because your greatest victories are still ahead of you. Your biggest breakthroughs are still to come. Your best self is still waiting to be unleashed. So fight. Fight with everything you've got. Fight with passion, with determination, with unwavering belief in yourself. Fight for your dreams, for your loved ones, for a better world. And when the fight gets tough, and it will get tough. Remember why you started. Remember what you're fighting for. Remember that every great story of success is really a story of someone who refused to stop fighting. You are writing your story right now. With every choice you make, with every obstacle you overcome, with every fear you face, you are writing a story of triumph, of perseverance, of unstoppable spirit. Make it a story worth telling. Make it a story that inspires others. Make it a story that changes the world. Because you can. Because you must. Because you will. Never stop fighting. Your best life is waiting for you on the other side of this fight. And I believe in you. I believe in your strength, your courage, your indomitable spirit. Now go out there and show the world what you're made of. Go out there and fight for your dreams. Go out there and create the life you've always imagined. Remember, the fight never ends. But neither does your strength, your resilience, your capacity for greatness. So fight on, my friends. Fight on. Your victory awaits.